on a keen interest in protecting students, both, of course, in the classroom, but noteworthy on their way to and from the classroom. It is vitally important that while the jurisdiction maintains the right-of-way and control over the areas around the schools, we need that partnership with the school district to protect each of our students. And thanks to the superintendent that we have today, we have that partnership. So Superintendent Ebert, thank you, and I'll ask you to come to the podium.
Thank you all. There's so many things going on in our community right now, but first and foremost, we know that student safety stands out. And second, with that, student safety, none of the great work that transpires can happen alone. We know it's not one single classroom teacher, one single crossing guard, one single community. It is the entire community coming together to make sure that we're supporting and leaning in school safety, especially around our schools. So I do, with great pleasure, thank you, Commissioner Naft, for leading this, and your entire the county commissioners for making sure that this is happening. And the data, when you hear that, when you hear about the data and taking action and making sure that our students are safe, you know that resources are going where they need to go. And so again, I thank the commission for doing that. When our team, what was really important prior to the action of 2024, our team spoke up and said, we need your help. We need the entire community to come forward and place crossing guards, not only with our elementary schools, but our middle schools as well. And so this is a major step moving forward, and it's vital to make sure that they are all there. While the primary goal is safety for all crossing guards, our schools and all crossing guards, I want to make sure that we also highlight that these are people that are coming to work each and every day. They're making relationships with families, with students. The crossing guards are there. They say welcome. They're some of the first adults that our children see as they're coming to school. One school that I want to highlight in particular is Canarelli Middle School, which instantly became safer of having crossing guards. This school was highlighted on Crossing Guard Appreciation Day, so I hope all of you will join in February when many parents express their appreciation and the children for the crossing guards. Specifically, we had our principal, Alea, who was happy to have them there and said how much it made a difference for children arriving safe and on time to school. So again, thanking the entire community as we move forward. Main purpose here today is call to action to make sure that people know that they have the opportunity to join a task force, to join a group of crossing guards, to make sure that our children come to school. And it's my great pleasure, and I want everyone to know how much I particularly appreciate crossing guards. I know when I went to elementary school, it was always fun, run up and then stop right there to go and move forward within our schools. So with that, the man in charge of making sure that we have all of those crossing positions filled is Sergio Merrill. And so please, Sergio, let everyone know how they can become a crossing guard.
Sounds great. Thank you very much. My name's Sergio Merrill. I'm the Southern Nevada team manager for ACMS, the Crossing Guard Company. And first I want to thank Commissioner Knapp, the entire County Board of Supervisors for inviting me this morning. It's really an honor to work together with the county to make sure we keep our kids safe. So right now we're looking to hire about 75 crossing guards throughout the Las Vegas area, including Henderson, Clark County. These are part-time positions, a few hours in the morning, a few hours in the afternoon. And it's really a great job for someone looking to, one, supplement their income, but two, that is really willing to step up and help kids keep kids safe. The pay starts at about, or actually not about, but it starts at $17 per hour, and we provide all the equipment and all the training necessary. To join our team, an applicant must be at least 18 years of age, pass a background check, complete fingerprinting, and complete a pre-employment drug screen. These are safety-sensitive positions, and we take this seriously because we know our parents do as well. We have several hiring events coming up next week, starting on Monday, concluding on Thursday, throughout the Las Vegas Valley. If you know someone who is dependable, cares about kids, wants to make a difference, then we'd love to meet you. Earlier this year, I'll tell you a quick story. I was working a crosswalk on Valley View in Sahara, and an elementary school student came up to me and he said, "Hey, good morning." And I said, "Hey, how are you?" And he says, "You know, I just want to let you know that sometimes the only good morning I get is from my crossing guard. She's really nice." And he says, and I think you're okay too. So after he crossed, you know, I told him have an amazing day at school and whatnot. And I will tell you, kids are honest. They'll tell you exactly how they see it. For some, our crossing guards are the only friendly face that they're going to see before the bell rings. They help keep our kids safe and maybe even make their day a little brighter. And that could be you or someone you know. So please help us spread the word. If you know someone who'd be a great fit, a neighbor, a family member, or maybe even yourself, come see us. Stop by one of our hiring events, ask questions, fill out an application, and find out exactly how easy it is to get started. For more information, you can go to our website, ACMS Careers. If you want to Google that, that's easier. Call our local office, 702-675-3135, or you can email lasvegasjobs@thecrossingguardcompany.com. Together, we can make sure every child has a safe walk to school and maybe a smile to start their day. And thank you, and hopefully I will see some of you in a crossing guard vest soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sergio, Superintendent. We've heard a little bit about the role that crossing guards play in our classroom, the role that they play in preventing tragedy from happening, and of course, the role that the job can play in improving their own quality of life and providing a role and opportunities to them. So we hope that everybody joins in this opportunity, and thank you for helping to share this story. Each of us are happy to answer a couple questions here if you'd like. Obviously, we want to focus the conversation around crossing guard traffic safety to and from getting to school, but happy to start there.
Questions on the podium or?
We'll take a few here for the three of us, Will, and then.
Okay, if I can ask the superintendent a question, it goes into, obviously we have crossing guards for elementary schools, we have crossing guards for middle schools, but a big concern for people is having crossing guards for high schools as well. This goes back into just over 2 months ago regarding Arbor View. So where's the process going with getting crossing guards at high schools? We have volunteers who are doing it without pay right now, but can we get them there as well?
Yeah, so working with, thank you for the question, working with all of our municipalities, having that conversation about how we expand. We're, again, very thankful that at the middle school we are able to have community lean in, step up, and so looking down the road, it's definitely where we're going.
Superintendent Liebert, I have a question. First of all, thank you so much for taking the question. So we know that the school district received emails from a City of Las Vegas employee months before the tragic death of 18-year-old student Mackenzie Scott, warning about the very crosswalk where she was hit and killed. Weeks before, a parent flagged similar concerns. Now, if these emails are seemingly going unaddressed, what is the best way a parent can flag safety concerns at their own school?
I guess I'll just jump in here and just remind everybody that a lot of these, first of all, the crossing guard program, they're managed by each specific jurisdiction. That's why some of our jurisdictions have different programs in place right now. Each either commission or council would have to approve the funding for the crossing guard company, do their own, potentially you could do a joint RFQ bidding process, but those decisions are typically made are always in Southern Nevada made at the jurisdictional level. When it comes to ensuring that our roads are as safe as possible, that's what you've suggested is the best way. They can contact their local elected leader, they can contact their public works department depending on the jurisdiction that they live in, and I can tell you what would happen in my case. This happens every single day. Somebody reaches out, they want to know or they have a suggestion related to safety improvements in their neighborhood. We work with both our public works department and in the case of unincorporated Clark County, we have a Office of Traffic Safety. We will study that intersection. We will perform analysis of that intersection. If there are improvements that we can make, we'll fight to make those improvements. Unfortunately, these improvements sometimes require funding, they require infrastructure, they require time to get through the process. It's never fast enough, but I would to your point, ask everyone in this community if they know their intersection, they know their neighborhood better than anybody else does. And if they feel that they have a contribution to make as it relates to infrastructure or improvements related to safety in their area, they should absolutely contact Clark County. You could do that through Fix It Clark County. That's an app that the county has. It can be used for public works inquiries. It can be used for a variety of other code enforcement issues. That's probably the fastest and most effective way to get improvements made. Fix It Clark County.
So they should be directing their improvements to the county and not the school district have to email?
Well, so both of those are an option, but if it's a public infrastructure, if it's the public right-of-way, that belongs to either the county or the city, whomever has jurisdiction over that area. We, of course, work hand in glove with the school district. They report improvements that require investment to their jurisdictions. The school districts do. Principals reach out often with suggestions to be made to both the district and to the jurisdictions. So I wouldn't ever leave any stone unturned, but if it's a public right-of-way issue, if it's on a public road, that's going to be your municipality.
I have a question right over here. Do we have an idea of where the areas with the greatest needs are, and then how these crossing guards are going to be dispersed?
One thing I can say has gotten drastically better since we have created Clark County's Office of Traffic Safety, which is it gets a little confusing. That's a regional office. So while it's housed here in Clark County, works with the unincorporated Clark County Public Works Department, those assets are available to everybody. They have new equipment and technology that they're utilizing that helps assess the need. The county, like all of our jurisdictions in Southern Nevada, work to study intersections, study roadways, stretches constantly. And particularly during, hopefully finishing up this time of year, but during the summer, we prioritize improvements to areas around schools. And that's what's happening right now.
Question for Superintendent Ebert. What are conversations that you're having with other jurisdictions? I know we're talking about the county expanding the crossing guard program to middle schools from just elementary schools. I know the city's having that conversation. How are you having conversations with the city of Las Vegas and other jurisdictions about the success of this program or, expanding crossing guard programs in the future?
So starting with the event today, right, amplifying our conversations that we had. I actually had a conversation within the last week with Mayor Romero, City of Henderson. We tend to think of what's right around us, but I just met with our mayor in Mesquite. And so making sure that the communication is tight around not only outside of our school buildings, the roads, but inside of our school buildings, after school, all of those pieces that we need to focus on as a community. Again, no one person can do this work alone. It takes our parents, it takes the mayors, it takes everyone to lift up our children so that they can be successful.
In that same vein, parents around Arborview have been talking about their desire to have crossing guards expanded to middle schools and high schools. I know it's the city, we're here in the county right now. But specifically when it comes to the city, are there conversations that you're having as the city explores expanding the crossing guard program similar to the way the county has?
Yeah, the mayor and I have had discussions, and if you've been out to Arborview, they are doing the work that it will be in place before school starts. And we're excited about all of the future work that will transpire. As Commissioner noted, the work that they're doing within the entire county, that data is very important to inform each individual municipality.
I'd also just point out, I think everybody here knows I'm probably the strongest advocate for expanding crossing guard program. Each municipality, this is one piece of the puzzle, right? Nobody's trying to indicate that crossing guards are going to solve every single problem in this community. Each of the cities, including unincorporated Clark County, are doing things far beyond the crossing guard program, enhancements, trying different safe street models, different infrastructure improvements. So each city, to their credit, is laser focused on addressing this problem. Some of them are handling it in different ways than others. But again, in the vast majority of Southern Nevada, following Clark County, you had North Las Vegas and Henderson already expanded their program. So crossing guards are available at the majority of middle schools now in Southern Nevada. In front of high schools, we're looking at different options and continuing to understand how and where crossing guards have been effective. Would they continue to be effective with an expansion? Is there just anyone who hasn't gotten one have one final question? Go ahead.
Just going into it itself, if you have crossing guards, you have signage, you have flashing lights, and we still do see increase or any sort of what's next?
Yeah.
What do we do?
Engineering and education, right? So this all starts with engineering. We're here in Public Works. I think that's noteworthy. That's where this conversation has to start. It has to begin with how our roads are designed, engineered, and built, and being thoughtful about who we're designing and building roads for. It's not just the vehicle traveling through that intersection, but it's also the student on a bicycle, the student that's walking to get into that car. Our roads are for everybody, and continuing to emphasize that point in public works departments up and down this state, I think will have an enormous impact. Education is a critical element. We work very hard both with the school district, with safe routes to schools, and through other programs to make sure our students know that there's some accountability there too, right? They're young, they're impressionable, but making sure that they understand that they have a role to play in keeping themselves safe. We also, and you'll see this a lot more in the coming weeks, we have to continue to educate the families, the guardians of individuals who are dropping their kids off to school. There are rules that are specific to crossing guards, to crosswalks, and to areas in front of schools. Speed limits are there for a reason. School zones are there for a reason. No U-turns are there for reasons in and around schools. All of those things have to be continuously communicated as we educate our public on how to keep them, their students, and all of our community safer. Thank you very much. We hope to see you back out again at these hiring fairs in the coming weeks. Thank you. Thank you, Superintendent.
Thank you.
Thank you.